Excellent. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Vertical Drop Viking. I I've been gone for a long time. Some of you noticed. I appreciate everyone who reached out and asked. I thought I was gonna be getting right back into it once I moved. Blood for the Blood God, Skulls for the Skull Throne. He says that's awesome. He's a straight up Warhammer character. All right, but I life is starting to somewhat resemble some sort of sense of normalcy here. There's still everywhere I look, there's still six things to do. And when I first moved, when I first started, everywhere I looked, there were 100 things to do. So real progress has been made. Well, thank you, your fave. I appreciate the sub. That's awesome. But so I suppose it's 7. We got a few people in here. We can see what I got in here. Funny enough, I bought this around the time that I hit 300 subscribers when I was still making videos every single week. Thank you. Thank you. I'm certain you're a worthy foe as well, Karn the Butcher. But so I bought this when I was still uploading videos every week and I was still getting a decent amount of subscribers every week as a result of it, thinking that this is going to be for the 400 subscriber celebration. But the 400 subscribers still hasn't happened yet. In fact, I'm losing more than I gain anymore because I haven't been making any videos. I don't blame people for not wanting to stick around, but all of you who have stuck around, I really appreciate you. Thank you. But today we have the Magnum XL 200 Nanocoaster. And this is what I'm going to be cutting my fingers on for your guys' enjoyment today. This is the official Coaster Dynamics licensed Cedar Point Nanocoaster. And this is the second one of these I put together. The first one was when this channel got 200 subscribers. I got it right here. I'll show you what these guys look like fully finished. This is Shivering Timbers at Michigan's Adventure. And it's got the little station house. Oh, my thing's popping out a little bit there. That's the name of the game with these things is why is this popping out? Why is this popping out? What did I do to make this pop out? But yeah, it's a tiny little roller coaster, a model roller coaster, obviously, that is meant to symbolize Michigan's 120-ish foot wooden coaster over in the west side of the state, Muskegon. But this is what they roughly look like put together. But of course, this is an out and back wooden coaster, and the Magnum is a little bit more complicated in its layout. You guys can see that right there. It's still generally an out and back, but it's got a big turn on the second hill, on the first big camelback after the lift hill. And then that turn follows up on this tunnel right here before it goes and comes around. Oh, great. I'm getting notifications. Hi, everybody. So let's open her up. Oh, and then also in this box, I should also have, yep, I bought myself a cool little Valraven sticker. Oh, that's a cool material too. I don't even know what that's made. It's like a almost a rubbery, yeah, it's like a vinyl sticker. That's their official sticker from the same web store, the Cedar Point web store. I'll find something to put that on. I have so many stickers and not even close to any idea of what to put them on. Like, I don't want to put them in my car. You know what I mean? It's that, I don't know. Pull me over flag. Anyway, let's open up this Magnum XL Nanocoaster box, see what the parts look like in here. It feels like they're going to be on one sheet, which means the first step is going to be separating all the pieces, which is what I'm used to with that first one that I built. But I've been told that some of these kits, the newer kits, come not on sprues, but already disconnected, and that is not the case here. Here, the instructions, those are important. Get this thumbtack out of the way before I knock it onto the floor and step on it like I'm a cartoon character. What else do we got in there? Read before starting. Use nail clippers. I got those, yeah. Peel the paper backing out both sides. I will do that. And pre-bend into the general shape of the layout. All right, I knew that. I didn't need to read that, but I'm glad I did. When you open up one of these Nanocoasters, this is generally what you're going to be looking at. A sheet of aluminum that's laser cut to have all the parts that you need to build it all put together already. And this one's going to be in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces. So 1, 2, 3, 6 pieces. The station house is a piece. And then this is the sign for the front. This is Magnum XL 200. It's the official little logo too. Now 6 pieces that's I think tiny compared to, I feel like there were a lot more pieces for the Shivering Timbers one. Of course, it was a little while ago that I built it, probably 6 months at least. But I feel like I had more pieces with the Shivering Timbers one. Although I feel like this is, I mean, we'll find out. We'll find out if it's easier or harder as we go along. I've lost all my people. That's all right. People will come back. And if not, I just want to make something anyways. A video and a model. I just want to make something. All right, so sometimes people have a lot of trouble with these blue papers. And sometimes they come right off. We'll see how it goes with this one. See, all right. I'm already having trouble. I've scraped away from. I don't have the edge. I can't get the edge. So the downside of doing these as unboxing videos is that I can't. Oh, never mind. Never mind. I was gonna say I can't do this ahead of time, but to deprive you guys of that would be a crime. I'm glad they save these things forever. If I'm ever feeling down, I'm just gonna pull up this video and watch that come off in one piece. Whew. That was so satisfying. Here you have the general layout of the Magnum. You can see the station is down here. And there's this little series of brake runs where they're block sections for other trains. Trains can be in waiting behind the loading station because it's just one station for Magnum. Oh, I think we might do another good pull here. That was nice. Oh, one moment. Thank you. I'm Dada. That's right. I'm Dada. I don't think I'll need. Thank you. All right. Myself a little coffee here, iced coffee. I can't drink it in the morning because coffee makes me tired for whatever reason. I think it's ADHD or whatever. But 7 p.m. on a Tuesday evening is a perfect time for minty coffee. It's good. All right, so far we are 2 for 2 on our satisfying pulls of the protective sheet. This one looks a lot trickier. Let's see how we can do here. So where to start with what's been happening with me? I guess there's nobody in the chat right now, so it's sort of silly to say all this, but this is also something that can be viewed after the fact, so I'm going to keep talking in case there's somebody watching after the fact, because I don't want this to be boring for you specifically. Other people could have stuck around if they wanted, and they didn't. That's all right. So anyhow, I made the last video after a short hiatus, and confidently said at the end of it that I was going to go to every other week instead of every week. And then I didn't make a video for 2 months. I moved here. The process, like moving is moving without a 1-year-old is one of the most stressful things that you can go through. And I moved with a 1-year-old, and both me and his mother work, and I'm gonna use these. And if I learned my lesson from last time, I'm gonna cut them as closely as I can to the actual. Oh, these are. There we go. Oh, that's way prettier. Way prettier. So on my Shivering Timbers one, I'll pull it down. I'll show you. On my Shivering Timbers one here, you can see that I, as a rookie, didn't know how long those little sprue tabs were going to stay with me, because I didn't cut them as short as I could off of the sprue itself. I didn't know that I needed to, and now they are a permanent feature of my Shivering Timbers model. So I'm going to do my absolute best to cut as close as I can on all of these ones, including the bottom pieces which go through the board. Oh, but I have to be careful not to bend them before we get started. At my first poke of my hand. If I was a little more tech savvy, I'd have a poke of the hand counter going up on the top of the screen, but I'm not. I don't know. I don't know how to do that exactly. Oh, okay, there's a lot of those. That makes me wish I had a better one of these nail clippers. That's good. That's good. All right, so like I said, I started moving right after the last video, and we had to paint, and painting took time. We had to do the floor, and that took time, and her stuff was at one house and a storage unit. My house was at, oh, I'm actually bleeding. That was quick. My stuff was at the same house and a different house, and I had a few things in that storage unit as well, and neither one of us on a truck. Everything just moved very slowly, piece by piece. Trucks were borrowed in time. Where am I bleeding from? The very tip of my thumb. Sorry, YouTube. I know you don't like that. I did flag this video as not for kids. But, so, finally got almost everything moved to the house that we moved to where it's supposed to be. In the process of that, I'd say, 6 weeks ago now, I got COVID. And my second time getting COVID, because I also got it during the pandemic, but I got COVID this time, and it was one of these new variants or whatever. I didn't go and have it named, but whichever variant this is, moved into my ear pretty quickly. I'd say the third day of being sick, it moved right into my ear, and it started doing damage in there. And honestly, I'm not 100% with my ear. My ear is still not all the way back to how it was before. Here's our first piece. That's going to be our first Camelback hill and the speed hill before our turnaround. I got that, it's still pretty flat. I got a little bit of bending action in cutting that off the spruce, but that's to be expected with aluminum that's, bendable by design. So anyhow, I got COVID and it moved into my ear, and I haven't been sick for 5 weeks now, but my inner ear on my left ear is still not like it's like I can pop it on command. It's like my inner ear is now designed for a different pressure than I live in. And it's really quite unpleasant. One of the only things that helps I've found so far is my baby son takes swimming lessons every Monday, and I've been diving into the pool, the deep end, before I pick up the baby. Before I have the baby in my arms, obviously, because babies hate the deep end. But I pick up the baby, or no, before I pick up the baby, I dive in the pool and I go all the way to the deep end, and I just sort of let several thousands of gallons of water be on top of my head for a little while, and that helped, but didn't fix anything. And so I do that every week, but my ears, they're not the same. I don't know if there's anything that can be done to fix it, or if this is just part of getting old, is that sometimes you get a disease that changes you for the rest of your life. But it could be worse. It could be a lot worse. Everything could be a lot worse. There's plenty of things I could consider to be blessings, so I don't need to focus on the downsides of being old when plenty of people don't get a chance to get old. Anyhow, ears are a little wonky, but I don't get vertigo from it. I did when it very first started. I got vertigo from it, but now it's just the feeling of like being in an airplane, I suppose. Like only the best way I can put it. Oh, these. Yeah, no, that's good. That's right. That's right. But this actually needs to be trimmed too. What a pain. I wish I had better fingernail clippers. The ones that I used before were Frank's, as I was in Frank's basement doing it. I'm not in Frank's basement. I'm in my new little. This is actually where all the future Vertical Drop Viking videos are going to be recorded, but it's pretty messy right now. It's not exactly done, I would say. Well, that's going to bend it. I have to be more careful with that. So what else? My ear pressure thing is annoying, but it's livable. I don't have vertigo, so I'm not at all worried that it's going to affect me riding roller coasters. Thankfully, that would be heartbreaking if I suddenly got into this hobby and then during the off season I got sick and it made it so I didn't enjoy it anymore for the rest of my. No, that's not the case. Thankfully. Again, another thing I can count as a blessing. But I got over the sickness part of the COVID and got back to the moving stuff, and it's still a work in progress. You see here on the wall, I've been putting up decorations. I got my posters from work from the machine shop in Flint, Michigan. Some cool shows that I got to work. I got this painting that my mom painted for me, and there's the front window, and I guess power of the internet. Some of you guys can probably figure out where I live just from that flash of the neighbor's yard, but oh well. Come get me, I don't care. And this is something my grandfather made that I've had since he passed away. I really like. But the rest of the room's not. I mean, the room's just not done. There's plenty of decorations I still need to put up, and I've been thinking about maybe looking into a green screen for the channel. Obviously, I don't know, just another tool that I'd be able to use to make entertaining content for you guys. And then plenty of time. Oh, don't drop this. So I thought this would break loose now, but something is still attached somewhere. I think it's that right there. Yeah, I think it sure is. Oh, there's two of them just like that that are still attached. Okay, what was I saying? Oh, the room's not done, but this is going to be the room. Um, if any of you have any suggestions on things that I could use to make the room cooler, sound off in the comments. What do you see in the background of a YouTube video that makes you not want to click away? I guess. Barring any good advice, I'm just gonna make it look the way I like. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I could be democratic if I need to. I suppose. Mm. I think there it is. Second piece free. I swear, most of the work is. Oh, and this is the famous triangle hills towards the end. Probably my favorite part of Magnum. Putting this clippers through the ringer. Wish I had a different tool for this. Frank, if you're watching, I'm coming over and I'm stealing that tool I used last time. This long straight section is probably going to be the brake run, if I had to guess. It's just flat, straight track. Let's see if I can get it. That worked. The baby, he's 14 months old and he's just now learning how to talk. In the other room, I heard him say "I do," which is one of his favorite things to say right now, as "I do." And the other day, we were in public somewhere. I don't know exactly where. I can't remember. But I asked him something, and he said "I do," and then a little girl overheard, and she said to her friend or whatever, "That baby just said I do." It was so cute. I have lots to be thankful for in this world. So what else is new? The Six Flags sell-off has been a little bit messier than anybody would have liked, but about as messy as everybody expected, I think. The passes, season passes are not showing up on people's apps. And that is a huge concern for people who spent hundreds of dollars to be able to go to these parks and then get the old bait and switch pulled on them in one of the biggest ways possible, really. I don't know if it could get much more bait and switchy than, oh, you bought permanent admission to this park, but the company you bought it from doesn't own it any longer. So you'll have to bear with us. And it sounds like a lot of the problems are getting sorted out, but some of them are just not. Like, if you bought a dining plan through Six Flags for the year and your home park is now gone, then they're just giving you your money back. There's no. They're not trying to honor that. that's not a good sign. But I'm hoping to get to Michigan's Adventure sometime soon, but with the whole Enchanted Parks takeover, it's definitely gone down on my to-do list a bit. I have a lot of other fun stuff planned for the year, and I have a feeling I'm going to end up disappointed. And I got to spend money to go do this stuff. I'm not a coaster influencer. I'm a bouncer who likes yapping about roller coasters. So if I'm going to spend money, and I already have a pretty good feeling that it's like the theme of the weekend is going to be disappointment. It's a hard sell. It's a hard sell to bring the family with. Like, hey kids, come on, let's go see how much this private equity company messed up our local theme park. And I say local, but it's 2.5 hour drive from Flint to Muskegon. It is, I guess what I'm trying to say is that it's not cheap. It's not a decision made lightly to go to Michigan's Adventure for the day. And if it's gonna suck, I don't. If it feels like I know ahead of time that it's gonna suck, I don't know if I'm gonna go. But I want to ride Shivering Timbers. I really do. I miss the feeling of riding a intense, awesome wooden roller coaster. Blue Streak wasn't even open the last day that I went, and it's not. Blue Streak is sort of pales in comparison to Shivering Timbers. I don't know. For those of you who've never been on Shivering Timbers, it's absolutely incredible wooden coaster. All right, I am halfway done with this boring part where I cut sprues and myself. So let's see. I put my blood into this project for you guys, so go ahead and click like. So I want, like I said, I want to get to Michigan's Adventure to ride Shivering Timbers, but I don't want to spend several $100s going across the state to have a bad day. Luckily, I didn't buy the all-season dining plan. I don't feel like I go to the parks enough to justify the several $100 purchase when I can just spend $40 per purchase on the daily dining plan, and still it pays for itself so fast. So. Magnum XL 200. Oh, that's not going to focus in a million years. Oh, there we go. That's not so bad. So yeah, the bad news is probably no Michigan's Adventure right away. If later in the season, if I make it to Michigan's Adventure, if at all. But that's not why I bought the season pass from Six Flags. I did not buy it to get on Shivering Timbers, much as I love that roller coaster. I bought it to get into the rest of the parks, which when I bought the pass, it still did that. My apologies to you if you have bought the new regional pass in the meantime. But I am looking forward to making a trip, hopefully in June, to Great America, as I alluded to in a video late last year. Six Flags Great America in Gurnee is high up on my list of places I want to go. It's the next closest real theme park to me. I'm halfway between Michigan's Adventure and Cedar Point. Oh, I'm gonna step on that someday. Oh, and now it's forever marked in posterity. One day when I'm in the ER getting that little tiny piece of aluminum pulled out of my foot, I can show the doctor this video. That's fun. That's fun. Okay, all that's left for these sprues are the lift hill, and what I assume is going to be, oh, there's, all right, all right, this is the lift hill. These are more triangle hills. I assume this is going to be right after the turnaround, right after the pretzel turnaround, the half helix or reverse helix turnaround at the far end of Magnum. And that's what this is going to be right here. You can't tell from it being on a straight piece. It just looks like the world's most boring hills, the most boring airtime hills. But I have a feeling that that is actually going to be looped all the way around. This is going to be the in, and this is going to be the out, or vice versa. And it's going to go over itself here and here. So that's going to be here and here on the actual piece. So that's going to be the single hardest piece to construct on this entire Nanocoaster. Bar none. That's going to be easy. Or I say it's going to be easy. It's an easy decision to call that the hardest piece is what I'm trying to say. Brilliant. Brilliant in English language. So let's do the lift hill next. Oh, I hear somebody scratching at the door. Let's let the kitty cat in. Can't leave the kitty cat out. Oh. I got a little lighter here. I'm chasing everybody out of the chat by fucking around. I don't care. I'm doing this for me, honestly. I've sort of come to that conclusion that the channel is not going to be the next. Like, I feel like when I started the channel, there was sort of channels I liked that I was trying to emulate or whatever, and I don't know if I wasn't feeling that, so I feel like I'm gonna try and do less scripted content. I'm still gonna do some scripted content. I enjoy the sort of, I don't know, almost book report aspect of like doing the scripted content about something I'm interested in. But I want to do more stuff that's just making something for the sake of making something, I guess. And if you guys like it and tune in, that's awesome. And otherwise, you know, if not, there's plenty of creative endeavors I've made that were just for me, and this will just be another one, and that's okay too. Oh, I should have got better fingernail clippers. Oh, curse these things. I think I've about killed them. What are you sniffing? This cat is sniffing around. I ask her questions like she can hear me, but she's deaf. Here, I'll show you guys. It's definitely more. It's cuter than me and the coaster thing, anyways. You can see the mess on the floor. Boxes and everything else. Oh, yeah. Then putting this thing through the ringer. These clippers are never going to clip anything again after this. This is their last day. Okay, you can't climb the wall. It's drywall. My cat's a little demon, but I love her. She is an adorable fur baby. That's exactly right. Thank you. Oh, that's Beer. What up, Beer? It's good to see you. Thanks for checking in. Watch me struggle to cut these damn sprues on this damn model. Riveting stuff, I know. You know, making exciting and thrilling content is sort of my passion, which is why I focus on single camera yapping. Well, I don't know if these fingernail clippers are even going to finish the job. So if you'll excuse me for a moment, I'm going to go find another pair of fingernail clippers that also won't work when I'm done. And then I'll buy more fingernail clippers later this week for my actual fingernails. Be right back. Oh, no way it works. How awesome. That thing hasn't worked in years. Whoops. Yeah, I need another pair of sacrificial fingernail clippers. The ones I'm using are not good enough. It's okay. The ones I'm about to use are going to be ruined by this, so I'm going to have to buy some new ones. Where are you? Yeah. Oh, there you are. Ah. Yeah. I'm still on there, so. You running away now that the room's foggy? I don't blame you. I don't blame you. That's silly of me, huh? Oh, that's kind of cool. I'll do it again. How awesome. I think we used that twice. We bought it for the band and used it 1 or 2 times. But now, oh, that makes me look cool anyway, huh? I'll take it. We'll probably make this one out too. Put this over here. Put that like that, so you guys can see that. Very cool. All right, I'll take it. Do it again. Awesome. That looks really cool. I'll probably keep that. All right, let's see if this doesn't works any better. It's not angled like the other one, so it's gonna have to use the very corner of it to cut. Oh, that's brilliant. What's still attached? That right there on the end? Is this the last one? No. Is this the last one? Man, it's working so much better. Why did I wait so long to change fingernail clippers? Stubbornness. That's the answer to so many of my whys. Why did I blank? Stubbornness. Oh, now the cat wants back in, huh? This is going to be a cool live stream where I watch this guy let his cat in and out of the room like 6, 7 times. Oh, I said it. My apologies. There, that last spur right there. No? No. There's always another sprue. Am I even still cutting the same one I started on? Yes, okay. Ooh. Another piece free. All right, let's do the turnaround because I don't want to do it with the fingernail clippers tore up, and they're getting worse with every cut. Every clip makes them a little bit less good at clipping. It's just the way of the world. Entropy goes ever onward. This one clipped. This one clipped. Not clean. Damn. This one clipped. Yes, no, yes. Oh, this is going so much better than those last ones for now. That stubbornness. One of these days, it's going to do me in. And I've come to terms with that. One thing that I think is really cool about this Nanocoaster is that if you look at Magnum and a lot of the old, very tall arrows from the early 90s, they use different support structures for their tall hills than they do for the rest of the coaster. The rest of the coaster will have these traditional arrow support beams with concrete piles, like you see on a looper, like on Corkscrew or any other arrow looper. But then the lift hill and these large hills have like a scaffold. It's the best way I can describe it. It looks like they're built on scaffolding. And then, of course, these were all built so early that there was no computer imaging. Everything was drawn on paper before it went up. And some things were figured out on site. If you want a little more insight into how Magnum was constructed, I have one of my earlier videos, one of the ones I'm most proud of, honestly, although it didn't get quite the attention I was hoping it would get, is a little history of the Magnum, sort of a little love letter to the Magnum. It was my first favorite coaster. It's still definitely among my favorite coasters today. And then it was the first time I was absolutely blown away by a coaster, you know what I mean? So many sprues. So many sprues. You guys have been with me for 50 minutes and all I've done is yap and cut sprues. But our patience is about to be rewarded because we have one more piece to cut out and then we get to the assembly. Let's see, we have a sprue on the end here. Let's get it. Let's count them down. I can't count them down because I don't want to count them, but I'll count them up. 1. Oh, come on. You can cut better than that. That's good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're halfway around the thing. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 left to go. 6, 5. Come on, that's so fragile. 4. Why would they put that there like that? 3. 2. Oh, the last sprue broke on its own. Kind of killed the little anticlimactic on that, but hey, there's nobody in here but me, so it doesn't matter. Anticlimactic if you're watching this later, I guess. Let's put everything that doesn't need to be on the table in this box for the sake of getting ready to build. All right, what else? What else? How cool. Instructions are important because you can easily get yourself in trouble with these if you've never built one. By just building it the way you think it's going to go together and then finding out that this piece has to go above this piece, which is going to be especially relevant when we get to the very end of Magnum, of what I call the reverse helix, right down here. It's going to be particularly cogent then. We're going to use needle nose pliers, and we might need this Sharpie marker to bend it around. The cat is trying to get back in. Let's let the cat in. I can't say no to that cat because she wouldn't hear me. Oh, she wants food and she's getting fed. Silly me. I thought she wanted attention and love, but she wanted food. Let's see. Does this look cool? Yeah, it kind of does. All right, so step 1 of the Nanocoaster Magnum XL 200 is the lift hill. And that includes this little pre-lift section of straight track that's a turn and the Magnum. And we're going to put that right here. Let's find our tab on this tab. This tab and that tab, just like that, and then I'll bend this. Whoop, 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 whoop. Come on now. Now I see what they mean when they said that these ones with the metal supports are more temperamental. All right, we got a good start, very good start, except for that little finger taker that I left on that. Little sprue. See if I can get this tab all the way in without bending anything else. I cannot. There, that's the tab all the way in. And can I get this tab all the way in, or is that wishful thinking? Oh, so close, but I forced the other one out. All right, that's down. Get this in and down. And then that one will naturally follow suit. Oh yeah, just like that. Oh, come on, almost all the way in. Oh, come on, I had it. So close. Let's bend this tab. Now we don't have to hold that end, and we can fidget with this end a little bit more freely. This tab does not want to go in clean. And you think with the one on the left going in clean, and the one on the right going in clean, and this one being halfway in, there we go. There we go. Let's get that tab bent. Let's get that tab bent, and let's get that tab bent. We have the beginnings of a Nanocoaster, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that beaut. Look at that. Clean on the thing. Not even a touch standing up. I'm going to bring in my clippers here. I'm just going to take that off. Oh. Where'd it go? I'll find it with my toe someday. That's the theme today. I will find it with my toe. Get a gentle bend, if I can, with the Sharpie. Where's my Sharpie? There's the Sharpie. I'm going to use the Sharpie to try and gently bend this to make it line up with that turn a little bit better. That's good. That looks very nice. I'm really pleased with how that first piece went in. I'm going to put this video, I'm gonna copy the link, and I'm gonna post on Facebook. Put this video on Facebook. We're back. We're back. It's cool, I don't want it to burn up. All right, step 2. Oh, sorry. So step 1 was just placing the thing on the table, which was funny. Step 2 was the lift hill, which is done. We're going to move on to step 3, which is the next hill. Straightforward enough. But we do have a bend almost immediately. So this is tricky, challenging. We're gonna start with the far end pieces. Let's see how close we can get them, and then we're gonna gently, ever so gently, gentlier than that, Joe. Come on now, Joseph. There we go. There we go. Can we get that tab all the way in? It would make me feel so much better if we could. So much better if we get that tab all the way in. Look at that bastard. Look at that bastard not participating. Am I in all the right slots down here still? No. No. Yes. Now I am. Now all three are in tab. Oh. The far end is in all the way. I just need everything else wiggled and jiggled. Oh, it's all in. It's all in. All right. Now I just need to bend these tabs without bending anything else. One tab, or without stabbing myself. Ouch. One tab, two tabs, three tabs, and four tabs. Wow. That actually went really well. Oh, these tabs, I might be in trouble with those. I bent them towards the other slots. But this is going much cleaner than the Shivering Timbers one did. We are honestly halfway through the course. We have the lift hill, first camelback, and it turns into the speed hill, which goes to, wow, we're going right to the turnaround. The reverse helix is next. And that, again, is not super obvious which piece that is. But I'm going to say that this is the end triangle hills, which is going to go around here. This is going to be my whole brake run. That'll go there. In fact, I think those are even supposed to be brakes. That's adorable. Those are supposed to be brakes in the bottom. How cool. And then, of course, my station still. So that means this is going to be the entire return trip besides the ending triangle hills. I'll put that over here. I'm not sure which of these is going to be the front and which of these is going to be the back. But because this one has 3 supports and this one has 2, I'm going to assume that this is meant to be taller. And that comes off of the... You know, this... I'm kind of disappointed that this doesn't come with any tunnels. When there's 3 tunnels on the Magnum. That's kind of interesting. Oh well. All right, the turnaround. So if this is the brake run, and this is the return trip, and this is the triangle hills, then like I originally thought, this has to be the turnaround. Oh, you know what? I think those things I just said, yeah, no, I still think that. All right, I still think that. All right. Oh, I left some nasty sprues on this one, though. Let's clean those up before I start pushing on this, because that will hurt me. I'm already bleeding. Well, I mean, my thumb healed up already, but I've already bled once for this project. I've bled one time, and I have 5 likes, so. All right, this will be the trickiest part of all. Trying to figure out what the front and the back of this is. The only clue I'm actually going to have is the tabs. And unfortunately, there's a tab right at the beginning of both sides. I'm going to try and line this up. Oops. I'll try and line this up just so, and this is just, I'm just trying to verify if this is the side that goes in here or other side, because if I get halfway through and I was wrong, I am in sorry, sorry shape. One there. Is there another one? All right, I'm going to bend it like this. I'm going to take the risk. I'm actually going to bend this tab down, which is either brave or foolish. I don't necessarily identify the difference. Oh, it was foolish. It was foolish. Unbent. Undo. I need multiple tabs to go in at once. What I need. So this is going to be the hardest, like I said, the hardest piece of the entire project. Luckily, the tabs are smaller on this section, so I have less wiggle room for how to do it wrong, which hopefully means I'll be more likely to do it right. Knock on wood. This lines up, which is very positive, a very good sign. This lines up. This lines up. We might just pull this off, ladies and gentlemen. If I can get this slot to line up, this tab to line up with this slot, rather. But then I gotta go underneath, right? Yeah, okay. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. First try. I can't believe that worked out. That worked swimmingly. I gotta say, I think these metal nano coasters are a lot easier than the wood ones. I'm having a better time, at least. And maybe it's because I have the experience of the first one. I don't know. I am having a better time. And if that was indeed the hardest part, then the hardest part is over. And I'll be damned if that doesn't look just like it. Oh, you're not seated deep enough. Just this one part's not. There we go. There we go. I gotta be very gentle to hold it on the top, and I have to be not gentle on the bottom. But the thing about that is that anyone who knows a thing or two about physics knows about equal and opposite reactions. All right, hold on. What if I try this? All right. That's good. We're good. If that was wrong, which I don't think it was wrong, I think it was right. If it was wrong, I think I've got it hidden enough to not care. We will start our return trip with a slight turn here. All right, let's just start from this tab. Start from this tab and bend our way back. Start from this tab here. Try and get it seated as much as we can. There we go. And then bend our way back. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I love it when it works. You love to see it. You really do. You love to see it. Oh, come on, get back in. It pops out. Well, I spoke too soon when I said you love to see it, but we'll get it. We'll get it. This tab right here is going to be giving me the grief. There's a little bit of Joseph bent this wrong action. Oh, don't drop it now. My tab's a little bent. A little bent, give me a little bit of grief. And you know I don't like grief. It's one of my least favorite things. So maybe if I pull this one out and I start with the one that's a little bent and I manipulate everything else around it. Let's try that. Let's try starting with this bent tab, getting it as seated as I can. Not a lot of room to work because of everything I've already done. Everything that's already in place. See, it's only as big as the tab, so riveting stuff, I know. Let's get into there. And now, this first one that I did have seated nicely is not going in all the way. We've hit our first snag, folks. Our first real snag in this process. But maybe a little bit of that felt good. It shouldn't have. It shouldn't have. It shouldn't have felt good. It wasn't good. That's seated. Give me that tab. I'll take it. There's one. Well, there's nobody in here, so I feel a little silly continuing the updates, but I'm going to keep doing it anyways, because like I said earlier, this has to be watched by people who are in the future too. Or it doesn't have to be, but it's available to be watched by people who are in the future too. And so if you're watching this in the future, then this video shouldn't suck just because it's lonely for me right now. So, what else is new? Cedar Point. I'm going to Cedar Point in 9 days. That's Thursday the 14th. I'm going to Cedar Point. It's going to be me, my coworker, who was in the last, the very first Cedar Point video, my coworker and her boyfriend. They were both in the very first Cedar Point video. And my coworker's boyfriend's brother. So the four of us are going to Cedar Point in 9 days. If you're there and you see me, see this face, feel free to come up and say hi. I very rarely bite. Time for thrills in the concrete village. It is time. It's been time for thrills. It's really, there's something to be said about me, like, sort of getting this new hyperfixation or addiction to roller coasters when I live in a place where roller coasters can only operate for 5 months a year. It's a real pain in the ass, is what it is. But that's the way it is. And you know, they say anticipation, you know, absence makes the heart grow fonder. And I'm here to tell you that it does. I've been dying to get thrown around by something. They like put me on a lift hill. I'm dying for it. So that's the first big thing. First big news is Cedar Point 9 days from today. I'll obviously make a trip report for that. Before I leave, I'm thinking about making like a what's the best route at Cedar Point video because I've got a pretty good route scouted out. The only thing that's sort of deterring me from making that route video is that if too many people are running the route, then the route sucks because now that's the lines route as well. But it is what it is. I think it'll be worth it. If you're cool enough to watch me, you should be in the know and you should be able to run my route with me. So 9 days, Cedar Point. June, sometime in June, not set in stone exactly when, but June, me, my dad, and my number one son, who almost 15 years old, my number one son now, we will be going to Six Flags Great America in Gurney. And we're going to be riding everything there that we can, everything. I really obviously want to ride Wrath of Rakshasa, vertical drop Viking. But the Superman ride, the flying coaster, is a huge bucket list coaster for me. Like part of what makes me love roller coasters so much is sort of that emulation, the feeling of flying. And so actually being, in the Superman position, the superhero flight position, I cannot wait to experience that. What else? There's a B&M Hyper there, Raging Bull. I cannot wait to ride Raging Bull. There's a ground up RMC in what's it called? I'm having a total brain fart right now. If there were more Thuzies in my chat, then somebody would correct me already. But and then it's okay that there's not. But Goliath, no, yeah, there's Goliath, Raging Bull, Wrath of Rakshasa, the Superman. Those are my top most anticipated ones. There's that Schwarzkopf there. There's that Arrow Looper I want to ride. I want to ride it all. Even a couple of flat rides there that I'm excited about riding. So that's all high up there on the list. That's going to be with my dad and my son sometime in June. We have some, my dad's got some medical stuff that he needs to get all of his T's dotted and I's crossed. I said that backwards. That doesn't matter. Yeah, you know what? I'm sticking with it. He needs to have his T's dotted and his I's crossed like this before we can make any concrete plans. So, oh, sorry. I, that's my Cash Patel impression, I guess. Also in June, possible trip to Kings Island with my buddies. My buddy, he's got a pretty big life event he's about to celebrate, and part of that is that he has, along with that life event, he's also got himself a new ride, new wheels, and he's like, well, I got new wheels. I'm about to be able to go anywhere in the country with them. Where do you want to go? Let's go ride some roller coasters. And I was like, let's go to Kings Island. So Kings Island, obviously, Orion, the Beast, like Mystic Timbers, like so many rides that I cannot wait to ride at Kings Island. So that's up on there on the list too. But both the Great America trip and the Kings Island trip are up in the air as to when exactly they are. Looking at June, could be July, not 100% sure. And then not relevant to either one of those because they're not allowed, but for the next trip, which is at the end of July, I'm going to Lagoon. I'm actually going to be getting in a camper van that a van that my mom converted into a camper. She lives in Southwest Wyoming, and so my mom's going to be visiting over on this side of the country. And when she's done visiting, I'm going to get into the camper van with her. We're going to drive all the way across the country. It's a 24-hour drive. We're going to probably split it up into 2 days, because just for our sanity's sake. And we're going to go all the way to Lagoon, all the way to Salt Lake City from Flint, Michigan, and ride everything there. I have a video I've been working on. It's a long script of sort of a tier list ranking all the rides at Lagoon by how excited I am to ride them. Similar to the one I made for Great America late last year. That video is taking a lot longer to make than I expected it to. A lot of it is technical stuff. I've said 100 times in this video already, I moved. We don't have broadband internet set up at this house yet, so all I have is my 5G phone internet, which very lacking. Hopefully you guys aren't noticing how lacking it is right now. Hopefully this isn't a choppy, laggy mess, because it's not displaying as laggy on my end, so I have to assume it's not a choppy, laggy mess. But I haven't had more than 6 or 7 people in the chat at once besides the very first open, so can't rule it out. But when there's actual internet, it'll do me wonders as far as keeping up with the channel. And then also, speaking of Lagoon, speaking of my mom, and speaking of keeping up with the channel, my mom bought me this as a present. This is a little GoPro, the GoPro Hero. Now, I don't really know jack shit about it yet. I don't know how to use it properly. I've got it set up, and I've got, I don't know, 13-second video of the baby yelling because I was holding the camera instead of the baby, and he's like, come the fuck on. But I have a chest strap for it, and it comes with software, video editing software. So I'm gonna have to learn how to use that video editing software. But hopefully it's better than the video editing software that I've been using for all my other videos. But once I have that squared away, I'm gonna be able to make all sorts of content with this GoPro. It doesn't even necessarily have to be roller coaster content, but obviously the focus of the channel is roller coasters and thrill rides. But I think I am gonna. There's gonna be a little. I'm gonna branch out a little bit. The worst thing that can happen is people who follow me just for roller coasters get frustrated because the video's not about roller coasters and they unsubscribe, and that's fine too. I think that any amount of time that I spend trying to make this channel what somebody else expects it to be is just gonna be wasted time on my part. I think the channel is just gonna be what I want it to be. And that can change with the tides. It's the Vertical Drop Viking channel because I'm the Vertical Drop Viking, not because it's all about vertical drops. But I happen to like them. But that being said, this is obviously going to be arranged like this way because we have a down and a down, a valley and a valley on this wonderful triangle hill part. And since it's a straight hill, oh, well, I'm getting ahead of myself. We did not seat this tab back here, the one I was having all the trouble with. We seated its brother, its neighbor. We're not bent enough in, that's why. What if we bend more in? Do we seat? Do we try at least? We do not. Doesn't appear so. So yeah, the GoPro is an exciting addition to the channel, and hopefully it means I'm going to be able to start making better quality video for you guys instead of this using my phone's camera. Now the downside to it is that I believe this model of GoPro does not have external microphone support, which means that this fancy microphone I spent $100 on is not for GoPro videos. It's just for my videos where I use the phone or any other camera I may procure between now and then. So it's a little annoying that I've got 2 pieces of tech for this channel total, and those 2 pieces of tech I don't think are going to interface with each other whatsoever, or even be able to be utilized in the same circumstances. The same. Oh no, what dropped? Oh, the triangle hills dropped because I didn't see that. See what happens when you get ahead of yourselves, kids? All right, I'm going to unbend this tab. I'm going to reclaim this return trip. I'm going to pull it back out. Because this is right. It's in the right spot. Everything is good. But when I was messing with those damn sprues, I put a bend in this. And it's the bane of my existence. Everybody's gone again. Oh well. So yeah, this is the Vertical Drop Viking channel. It's mostly going to be about roller coasters because I really like roller coasters. But if I feel like talking about an album that come out that I like, I'm going to talk about the album. If I feel like, I don't know, talking about the cool concert I worked this week, or I'm going to talk about the cool concert that I worked this week. If I feel like talking about what my cat did, I'm going to talk about what my cat did. And honestly, the way the world's going, if I feel like talking about how much I hate the president, I'm going to talk about how much I hate the president. And if the people watching don't want to watch it, then they won't watch it, and that doesn't affect me one little bit. I'm just going to make whatever video I feel like making, whenever I feel like making it. And that's what the channel is going to be from now on. If you like me, you like the channel. I guess that's it. But I'm the product that I'm selling. Hell yeah. I'm sorry, Anthony. I didn't see your chat. I got a little distracted. I got off of my own world, but yeah, this is I, I just want to keep creating stuff, and I don't want to be limited to one subject anymore, one topic, or one anything really. So I'm just gonna keep on yapping. That's the name of the game. This is the channel where I yap. We are so close to perfect on this part, but I can't tell. There we go. There we go. There we go. Oh my goodness. Bend it. Bend it. Bend it. We got it. We got it, Anthony. Anthony, we got it. And if you're watching this in the future and your name is also Anthony, fuck yeah, that was fate. Oh, come on, get back down. I should mention, since I keep cussing, that's another thing. I feel like I was trying to be family friendly to make the channel as accessible to as many people as possible. And that's over. I cuss, and the channel is about whatever I'm talking about. So sometimes the channel's going to have some cussing. And hopefully that won't turn off too many people. But maybe it'll turn on the right people. Who knows? Who cares? We have everything but the return, the Triangle Hills, the brake run, the sign, and the station completely and fully seated. And oh, you get back down there. Honestly, looking great. Better than I expected it to. And like I said, the Triangle Hills can only go one way. Despite the tabs being, the right spacing for it to go either direction. It's a valley on the left, or it's a valley on the right. It's got to be a valley on the left. There we go. Good fold. Feels really good. We'll get one of these. That feels really good too. And we are down to our last piece of track. Now, this needs to get bent in a really wonky way. And these pieces are not equidistant from one another. So I'm going to need to find out through the bending process which side is which. Oh, hold on. Maybe I can. All right. I feel like there's more space between. All right. What a pain. All right. I thought the helix was going to be the hardest part. I may have spoken too soon. This tab is all the way around. Like that. Yeah, I think it's going to be this. This is the orientation, I think. I think I nailed it. I think I deduced. There's that. Oh, don't bend now. Don't bend now. Come on, bastard. Now, when I said earlier, I don't want to make it sound like this is suddenly going to be a political channel, or this is suddenly going to be a channel just about music, or I don't know. I just maybe I think the channel is just not going to have a niche so much, quote unquote niche, if you, I don't know. Come on now. This is gonna go perfect. Oh. 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 It was almost perfect on the first go, but I unseated the first tab and seating the last one. There it goes. There's perfect. That's perfection right there. That's perfection right there. Let me see if I can hold them all in. And we'll get one tab. And we get two tabs. And we get three tabs. And this last one right here. All right, let's do a little bit of touch up on the curve here. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Unreal. That is the track completed. So with that, I'm going to carefully bend the station, because these things like to break. They love to break. This thing would love nothing more than to break in half and then not be a thing anymore. And then I'm just sad. So careful with this very fragile aluminum. Oh, starting to look like a station. Let's see if we can't do the tabs now. One tab. Give it a pinch. Give it a pinch. Little more pinch. Little more pinch. All right, I got distracted talking about the model thing, and I forgot that I was busy telling you guys about Lagoon. very, very excited to go to Lagoon. I think it's obvious that the thing I'm most excited about at Lagoon is the Cannibal Mega Coaster. But maybe a little bit less obvious is, I think maybe the thing I'm second most excited to ride is a flat ride, the Samurai. It's a Mondial top scan. It's like, I don't know. It looks to me like the coolest flat ride you could ever be in. Like it's got everything you could ask for in a flat ride. It's just flying. It's just you. What if I was flying? So I'm really looking forward to that. Although I have heard rumors that it is very, very restrictive restraints, and like maybe my big ass is not gonna fit. But we'll find out in July. And then, well, after July, I guess I don't have any plans and set in stone or anything really. Again, I'd love to get to Michigan's Adventure, especially when it's real hot at the water park. And if I do get to Michigan's Adventure, I will 100% let all you guys know how it feels different than last year, the ups, the downs, the pros, the cons. I will absolutely keep you guys in the loop. And try and get the Yapping back up to its original. And here we have, yeah, there we go. Here we have the completed project. Magnum XL 100. Second Nanocoaster ever. And either I learned a lot from the first one, or this one was just a lot easier, because I had a much, much better time putting this thing together than I did Shivering Timbers. Let's put them side by side. Magnum, Shivering Timbers. Well, hello. Speaking of my mom and Lagoon, my mom's in the chat. Everyone say hi to my mom. I'm looking forward to seeing her in July and crossing the country with her on a giant adventure. I was also just telling everybody, Mom, about this cool little gadget you got me. And how much fun we're going to have POV rides and stuff with that. Now, the thing about, I want to take this with me to Cedar Point, but you can't wear it on rides. So it's really going to be a liability taking it, because it'll need to go into a locker for Steel Vengeance. It'll need to go into a locker for Siren's Curse. And it'll need to go into a locker for Top Thrill 2. But I feel like the 4K footage of the rest of the park and the 4K footage I can take of, yeah, I just talked myself into it live on camera for all you guys to see. I'm taking it. The 4K footage, the off-ride footage that I can take with it, the being able to have my own B-roll of Cedar Point rides rather than stealing it from, shout out to Airtime Thrills, shout out to Canopy Coaster, shout out to Crispy Coasters, all you guys who do the B-roll, specifically the off-ride footage of all these rides when you go to these parks, you're incredible. And this channel, I wouldn't be able to make this channel without you guys. But I wouldn't be able to make this channel without you guys, but I would enjoy the independence to be able to do so. I would enjoy the independence to be able to film my own B-roll, and this being able to film 4K B-roll is going to be huge for the channel. So what else? I went over how crazy the move's been. I went over getting COVID. I went over my inner ear from COVID. I went over a little bit over the purchase, the Six Flags purchase, EPR, Enchanted Parks. Um, I want to make a full video on that, but I feel like for me the jury's still out on how it's going to go. I'm pessimistic, honestly. Like I went into it pretty optimistic. I was like, well, this is a new chain. This new chain might have something to prove. You know, this new chain might have more reason, more incentive to invest in these parks than Six Flags ever did, especially the post merger, almost competitionless Six Flags. Like, what reason did Six Flags have to put money into these parks once they own every park that doesn't start with Disney, or you know, like it? This is it's a good thing for the industry. Now, what is it going to be for us as end user consumers? What is it going to be like for us walking into the parks? I don't know. I really don't know. And I don't want to spout off at the mouth and talk about shit that I don't know how it's going to turn out. I would love to say that I'm still optimistic and that Enchanted Parks, I don't know, it's it's their game to lose right now because Six Flags was steadily letting things get worse and worse. Six Flags has stated in shareholder meetings and even stated to the press, even stated to the public, our mission for this year is to increase monetization for people while they're in the parks. Their mission for this year is to make it more expensive to be inside the park. Their mission this year is to get more people to spend money on Fastlane, get more people to spend money on upcharge rides, get more people to spend money on nickel here, dime here, nickel here, dime here. Um, Honestly, I'm surprised that they didn't pull a roller coaster tycoon and make the bathrooms 90 cents. And I think that if they could get away with it, if they thought they could get away with it for even an instant, the bathrooms would be $1. It's or if they thought that there wouldn't be depending on the park, if they thought there wouldn't be a pile of human garbage outside of every single charged toilet, because yeah, I'm looking at you, New Jersey. But oh wow, the sunset's really pretty. I'm gonna show you guys the sunset before I. And again, please don't use this shot of my outside window to come and stalk me and my family. But if you do, call ahead. I'm gonna put Shivering Timbers back where it was. And I think Magnum. Will Magnum fit on the windowsill? Its shaped so peculiarly. Yes. Oh, but it's backwards, so I want it to face the other way. Let's put Magnum right here. Oh, that looks good. We'll move the Viking ship and nickel and dime themselves out of everyone's wallet. No, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. I don't. I have the season pass this year, so I'm going to be walking in and out of their parks as often as I can. And you can't get blood out of a stone, so I don't know how they're going to nickel and dime my broke ass. But regardless, I'm gonna get my money's worth out of my Six Flags season pass this year. I'm going to enjoy going to the independently owned park with you, the only person who's in the chat right now, my mother, and uh, next year I probably won't get a Six Flags season pass for multiple reasons. One of which being that I got my Six Flags season pass through Michigan's Adventure, which was I think about half the price of the Cedar Point one. And again, I'm halfway between Michigan's Adventure and Cedar Point. So I spent about half the price on the season pass at Michigan's Adventure as I would have had I bought it at Cedar Point. And now, if I'm going to buy a Six Flags pass, it's going to be at Cedar Point because my quote unquote home park is no longer a Six Flags park. So if I buy a season pass at all, it's going to be the full price Cedar Point one. It's going to be a regional one, which only allows me to go to what? Cedar Point, Kings Island, um, Canada's Wonderland, like nothing close to me. Oh, and Great America, which I'm hopefully, knock on wood, gonna get everything that I want to ride there under my belt this, in a month or so. So I don't think that next year I'm going to bother with the Six Flags season pass. Um, might go to Cedar Point once next year and just pay the gate price. We'll see. I maybe next year will be the year that I hit every Hershey park, or every Hershey park in the region, anyways. Because I could go to Pennsylvania and get three of them knocked out of the way right there, and then it's not that crazy of a drive from Pennsylvania to get down into the Smokies and go to Dollywood, uh, Silver Dollar City. Like that could be a whole adventure and not have anything to do with any Six Flags parks. So, but that's far off in the future. That's next year's problem. And this year, I'm definitely going to get my money's worth out of the season pass that I've already got. In fact, I've said on the channel before, I've already got my money's worth out of it without even using it in the year that it's set for. I've gotten my money's worth out of the 2026 season pass, and the park opens up on Friday. So no worries there. I could break my leg tomorrow and still not regret that purchase. But I'm gonna knock on this wood right here because I don't want to break my leg tomorrow. Um, what else? Talked about the GoPro. Talked about COVID. Talked about moving. Talked about Michigan's adventure. Talked about Cedar Point. Talked about Lagoon. Talked about next year. Talked about how the GoPro and the microphone don't work together, but that's okay. So I'm gonna have to find out what the GoPro's audio is like for recording inside, but I'm probably, hopefully gonna use the GoPro's video editing software regardless, because the video editing software that I use is Microsoft Clipchamp, and it's the free version at that. So I'm using like a browser-based setup, which is not ideal. I've lost progress due to losing internet connection more than once. So I've already been sort of punished for using the cheapo Microsoft Clipchamp already. So it's definitely a blessing that the GoPro comes with its own video editing software. I'm looking forward to tearing into that and seeing what it's like. But I guess the first step before the channel can really truly be back on and I can commit to making regular videos, I need to have the internet. Because especially using Clipchamp as my editing software, because without the internet, I can't access Clipchamp. And so, real, I'm still gonna try and keep up to date on making some content. I think there's gonna be a lot of shorts, these vertical format videos, uh, just because I don't have to edit them more than anything. There's very minimal editing that I have to do, and YouTube has a sort of remedial editing function for shorts where I can pause and play and I can clip from pauses a little bit. So, not the worst thing in the world. Uh, and I'll, yeah, I'll do shorts for a little while. I will keep writing scripts. Like I said, the script, my Lagoon script for how much I'm anticipating all the rides is really long. There's so many rides. Like Lagoon's got 100 rides, and even if I knock off all the ones that are too small for my giant ass to fit in, there's still so many rides at Lagoon, so many attractions at Lagoon. So I might have to split the video about how much I'm anticipating all the rides at Lagoon into multiple videos. My only concern with that is that for me as a viewer, if I was looking at my channel as like from the outside and I saw one video that was all the roller coasters at Lagoon ranked, one video that was all the flat rides at Lagoon ranked, and one video that was something else, whatever else, I don't know how else I would split them up, but I would only click the roller coaster one. I don't know if I would watch a video that was ranking all the flat rides at Lagoon. And so I don't know if I want to make that video. I don't know if I wouldn't click it. Why am I spending my time writing the script, recording the thing, re-recording the parts that I mess up, editing the video, uh, exporting the video, uploading the video, making a thumbnail, captioning the video, posting the video on Facebook, and then nobody watches it. Like I don't, I, I don't know. I'm stuck in this weird place in between. I want to make the video, I want to make the channel whatever I feel like talking about, and I can't worry too much about what people will or won't watch because I can't predict what people will or won't watch. I just got to make whatever I want to make. And then I don't want to make stuff that zero people in the world like if I don't want to make stuff that even I wouldn't want to watch. Like what the hell's the point in that? So yeah, I don't know. Ultimately, I'm gonna yap about whatever I feel like yapping about. If you see a short pop up and it's just my face, it might be me yapping about roller coasters and theme parks. It might be me yapping about this band dropped a new single today. In fact, while I'm on the topic, today, this is May 5th, Cinco de Mayo. Today's May 5th. Today, a band from Ohio, one of my favorite bands, called If These Trees Could Talk. They dropped a new single today. It is very good. It actually starts with like a choral choir vocal thing, which is the first vocal that's ever been on any recording from this band, to my knowledge. They're an entirely instrumental band, but there's a little bit of like a choir vocal intro to this song, which really made me do a double take when the song started. But it's a great song from a great band. If you like post rock, post metal, instrumental music, mellow, epic guitar metal. Metal is almost the wrong word because when you say metal, people think that it's going to be aggressive or people think that it's going to be angry or fast, and it's not aggressive, angry, or fast. It's big. It is big music, and if that sounds like something that you'd be interested in, I highly recommend you check them out. If These Trees Could Talk. What else? Yeah, I'm going to talk about music on this channel. I'm going to talk about roller coasters. I'm going to talk about parenthood, I guess, sometimes too. I mean, I have a son who will be 15 in August and a son who just turned 1 in February. And yeah, I, I'm opening up what the channel's about. I'm not going to restrict myself to only strictly talking about roller coasters anymore. Just just to make it a more creative outlet for me, I think, to make it a more engaging creative outlet for me. Uh, because some days I might not want to talk about Cedar Point. Some days I might want to talk about how Trump's pissing me off, or how, I don't know, Mayor Sheldon Neely's pissing me off, for all you Flintoids, or whatever else it is. Ultimately, the channel is just going to be about me, I guess, and whatever's coming out of my mouth at the time. And I still want to make the bigger, long form content about whatever I feel like talking about at the time, because it's engaging to me, because it's fun for me, and I'm gonna make other content too. I'm still gonna put this in a long form, in a full video. Maybe the Cedar Point route video, and honestly, maybe the Cedar Point trip report video. But I've talked about this before, and I just love this. So it was 2001, the summer of 2001. It was just before, probably 2 or 3 months before 9/11 and all of that. So let's say June of 2001. And that's when I went to Cedar Point. It was a field trip, and my dad volunteered to be a chaperone, but then I don't think that my dad actually watched any of the other kids. Like, I think my dad volunteered to be a chaperone, and then me and him hung out all day, and then they probably put a note next to my dad's name and like, do not let him chaperone. He is just gonna fuck off with his kid, which is great. I wouldn't change that day for anything. I loved fucking off with my dad when we were supposed to be on a school field trip. And it started all of this. It started my love of thrill rides. And one thing that survived this whole time is this little souvenir from that day. Because my dad, after the Blue Streak and after the Wildcat and after the Iron Dragon, we might have even ridden the Mantis. I don't really remember 100%, but after getting those rides out of the way and getting my courage up, he got me on the Magnum, the coaster that I just built the model of. And there we are. That's a little vertical drop Viking right there. Well, not little, because even at 11 years old, I was a pretty big guy. But there's the captain himself. That's my old man. That's my dad. And then I think those guys in front of us are also kids from my school. I think that kid's name might be Garrett, but I'm not sure. And then I don't know. That might be Andrew, if that's Andrew, I saw him the other day at work. He came to a show at my work the other day. And if it's not Andrew, I apologize, but it kind of looks like him. So, but that's 2001. So 25 years ago. 25 years ago this summer. Oh man. Oh man, I'm getting old. Oh, starting to get grays in the beard and everything. I'm getting old. But 25 years ago, this all started, my love of riding the thrill rides, and I'm going to celebrate it right this year. Celebrate a lot of things. Um, so, if you made it this far, thank you. Or if you're tuning in recently, I appreciate you. Um, Let me know in the comments if you look around this room, see if there's anything that obviously this whole wall needs some good decorations, maybe some roller coaster theme, maybe I don't know, maybe my Viking sort of decor will go on that wall. And then I've got this wall is already started with my music stuff. I've got a really nice poster right here from the band Mastodon. It's probably my favorite band ever. At the very least, my second favorite band ever, if not my favorite. It's hard. It's hard to pick a favorite when it comes to music. Just like it's hard for me to pick a favorite when it comes to roller coasters, because I love them for different reasons. I love them at different times. But this is my signed Leviathan poster from Mastodon. So this is the sort of piece de resistance of my music collection stuff. But I want this to be in a frame before it goes on the wall. I don't want to just put a thumbtack through the corner of this. So this is going to stay in the tube until I get a proper frame for it and get it in its proper frame. And I actually have some other concert posters, stuff like that aren't from the machine shop that are definitely going to end up on that wall. But if there's and then the Wolves in the Throne Room flag that I had as my background when I first started the channel, I've got covering the top half of the door. So when I'm recording videos, that should look like that instead of looking like a door, which is cool. You see all my clothes hanging up in the back there. That's not ideal. Maybe I'll have to hang something from there to there. Cover up my clothes. I'm not sure. I guess that's up in the air. But one cool thing about this setup is that this is a standing desk. So I can do one of these. frustrating stuff, I know. Pretend you're on a lift hill. I don't know how high up it'll go, so let's find out together. Oh, wow. There we go. So this is the standing version of the standing desk. The light behind me is probably a little bit too bright. That's terrible washout light, but I could record a standing up video. Not too shabby. You can see I fogged the room all up. I thought it would look a little cooler than it does. But, oh well. It reminds me of like a smoky old bar, which... nostalgia. I'm gonna put this Viking ship off the windowsill. Bring this around a little bit more. And then show you guys there's the Magnum and Shivering Timbers. So if you are watching this after the fact and you have an idea for what my next Nanocoaster should be, comment it down below. Also, if you have any ideas for how to make this room look a little bit more interesting than just the gray box with a few of my things scattered around it than it is, drop those down below too. I got a lot of work to do. There's a lot of work to do everywhere I look. But it's been a 2-hour video. I suppose this would be a good time to wrap it up. If you've watched this whole thing, I really, really appreciate you. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. You, the interaction, the interface with you guys is what makes this worth it. If it was just me making videos and then nobody reacting to them, it would feel a little bit like screaming into the void. And screaming into the void's free. I don't have to spend all this time making it look nice. Thank you. And if you're in the chat right now and you are my mother, I love you. Vertical Drop Viking out.